Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber from youneedanamber.com, and I am so happy you are here today. Would you go ahead and click subscribe? You see it down there? See it? It's that big red subscribe button. You'll know it when you see it. Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and click the little bell so that you get notified every time I make a new video. Today on the channel, I want to talk about something that is bound to happen. If you want to run your business well, and I know you do, otherwise why would you be here? If you want to run your business well, you have to learn how to break up with a client really well. It's going to happen. Clients are going to break up with you. You're going to break up with clients, and you need to do it in the most tactful, classy, professional way possible. And I'm going to show you the 4 steps to break up with a client really well. Step number 1 to break up with your client well is to give them notice. Don't just say like, hey, it's Friday. I think this is going to be it. So good luck. No, that's not how we do things here. Breaking up with a client well means that you give them a really long runway to wrap up any projects or find someone new or do proper turnover or create those SOPs, whatever it is that you need to do to set them up well, you have to give notice so that you can do all of those things. I would say, is there like a perfect amount of notice to give someone? No. So have a look at what projects you have and what you still need to wrap up and make like a thoughtful decision on what you think it's going to take. If it's going to take you 30 days or 60 days to wrap something up, then that's how long your notice needs to be. If it's going to take 15 days, but you know you could do some other things, maybe just say it like that. But make sure that you check your contract to see what the notice period is in your contract. You do not want to be, there's some fancy legal term, but like you don't want to go against what your contract says, right? Because you're classy and you're professional and you're doing all the things right because you're running your business well. So have a look at the contract, know how long the runway needs to be to end your relationship with a client, and use that as your bare minimum. Step number 2 to break up with a client really well is to follow through on all of your promises. And this is the hardest one, but it's the most important one. The most important one. I heard once, an old boss told me once, no one ever remembers what you did when you were there, but everyone remembers how you left things. Let me say that again. No one remembers what you did when you were there, but everyone remembers how you left things. That has stuck with me my entire career. When I was 20 years old, a boss said that to me, and I have thought about it in every job, every client relationship I've ever had. That quote comes to mind, and I hope that it sticks with you too. You have to follow through on your promises. 1, because you're a person of integrity, and that's what you do, but also because you want to end the relationship well. You want them to give you a testimonial. You want them to refer you to their friends. You want them to talk about you in a positive manner. All the things can only happen if you followed through on your promises. It's the most important part of all of this. Step number 3 to end your relationship with your client really well is to recommend someone to take your place. How great would it be if a client received an email that said, or a conversation, or however you want to do it, that said, hi, this isn't working out for me anymore. I'm giving my notice. I know someone who would really, really excel at this job. I've already talked to them and they're actually interested in this. Here's their name and email address so that you can reach out to them and backfill my spot. That is going above and beyond so that you are not leaving your client high and dry. This is actually something that I did. I had a client where I was a content manager for them, and they knew me as a content manager. So even though my business was changing, they knew me as a content manager and they hired me for that role. Fine. Well, I wanted to really, really get out of the content creation and the content management world. So we worked together for about a year. And then when I was like, oh, this is not for me anymore, right? Like my business is changing. I'm changing. All good things, but this isn't working out anymore. So I sent them an email and I said, I'd like to give my notice. I'd like to give 30 days because we're in the middle of a launch, blah, blah, blah. But my friend Alex would be perfect for this role. I've already talked to her. She has the bandwidth to take on a role like this, and I would love to make an introduction between the two of you. Is that something you're interested in? My client was thrilled. You know why? Because she didn't have to do any work. I gave a recommendation of someone that I know and trust. I was able to train that person. And because I knew the person I was recommending, she was able to reach out to me at any time to say, hey, how did you handle this situation? So it was so easy for the client because I had the relationship with the new person and she didn't have to be a part of it at all. The fourth and final part of ending your relationship with your client really well is to implement your offboarding process. So if you've been around here for any period of time, you know that I love an onboarding process. I mean, I love onboarding so much, I created an entire course around onboarding. That's how much I like onboarding. But you know what comes after onboarding? Offboarding. Yep. All of those things that you did in the beginning to onboard your client, you have to undo all of those things. It doesn't take a ton of time. It's just a checklist of things that you have to go to. And maybe there's a checklist in my onboarding course. Shameless plug. The final thing that you need to do when you're ending your relationship with your client is to have a thorough offboarding process. So you've already given them notice. You've already followed through on all of your promises. You've potentially given them a suggestion of who to hire next. And now you need to do a bunch of things on your internal side of your business to completely offboard them so that they are out of your system, but you've received a testimonial and all the things that you need to do. That needs to be started as soon as you're finished with the client. So just to give you a quick recap, there are 4 ways to end your relationship with your client really, really well. You're going to give your notice, follow through on your promises, recommend someone you know, and begin your offboarding process. If you do these 4 things, I promise that you can end a relationship that is no longer serving you, and you can end it really, really well to maintain a professional and classy relationship and a classy and professional face through the entire process. Breaking up does not have to be painful if you don't let it get there. I hope this video was super, super helpful for you. Breakups are hard. Breakups are hard in private life. Breakups are hard in your professional life. There's no getting around it, but there are things that you can do to make the process as smooth as it can be. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button if you haven't yet, and I will see you next time. Bye.